Welcome to a deeper conversation. This conversation grew out of the word connection. My guest and I have stayed connected as friends for more than 45 years. She lives in California, I live in Utah, and we only see each other a couple times a year. Plus, we hardly talk in between. But somehow, we've never stopped being friends. She's known me through every version of my life, and I've watched her become every version of herself. I found myself wondering what has allowed us to stay connected all these years. So I asked her a simple question. What does connection mean to you?
Connection is an important part of the experience of belonging. Belonging is one of the most important needs for humans. Like, if we don't have belonging, then we can die.
Is that belonging to a group or having a purpose?
Belonging, yeah, a sense of belonging to a community. And the community is created by people being connected. And when you feel connected, I think that it is an energy that's going from you to the other person, to you again, with a mixture of mystery and universe in there too.
So when do you feel the most connected?
I think there's also like a connectedness to self, your higher self, your whole self, your authentic self. And so when I feel the most connected is when I'm in alignment with my mind, body, spirit, with my divine purpose, my best expression of that, and in a relationship with someone who is also in that state of being. That's when I feel the most connected. Where truth is present. Like, you can say hard things and they can be held as sacred to the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I feel the most connected. And then when I feel the most amount of joy in that connection is when it's done as a whole. When everyone is on that same level.
Doesn't happen very much, does it?
That happens a lot in my life. Because that's the kind of work that I do in the world. Like, when I bring people together in circle, we practice the principles of presence, and that there is no fixing, saving, advising, or correcting.
I love that.
I think that when people are all in agreement about principles, that it creates safety, and safety is really important. Psychological safety is really, really important. Belonging. So if you can't feel psychologically safe, you can't feel connected, and therefore you won't have a result of a sense of belonging. And when you feel a sense of belonging, you want to participate in that same manner. And I think that religion used to be that place, but I don't think it is anymore.
People have to create their own.
Yeah, and so these circles of trust are those communities that specifically for me, because I'm an educator, I create communities of trust, and that helps me feel like the most alive and connected in my life.
As she was describing circles of trust, I realized this wasn't just something Rana learned to facilitate. I experienced it with her years before. There was one conversation that has stayed with me for decades. We were sitting around a fire, and I remember telling her I'd often felt different because of the questions I asked, the books I was writing, and the philosophy I believed. I wondered if maybe I just didn't fit in. She looked at me and said, "Brenda, you're not that different. There are people all over the world who think the way you do." I don't know if she realized it, but in that moment, she looked at me with a kind of respect I never expected. She wasn't focused on how I was different. She was impressed that I stayed true to myself. Have you always been someone who made people feel like they belonged?
Okay, well, I'm thinking about now how in my own life, my biggest places of pain and agony are when I have felt that I'm being punished by disconnection. And when I was a teenager, as you know, I didn't agree with a lot of things that my parents wanted me to agree to. Yeah, how do families hold difference? Because a lot of families don't hold difference without punishing by creating disconnection. Because people don't know how to hold something different than them in a way that doesn't feel threatening.
So how did that work in your situation?
Yeah, so I didn't agree with the religious viewpoints and the rules. And as a result, I rebelled against everything almost. I was a sexual being in high school. And I then had a lot of stress with my parents because they didn't want me to be a sexual being. They thought it was wrong. And so the day after I graduated from high school, I got on a bus and I went to see you in California and had a blast and so much fun and felt very free. And then my parents discovered that I had left a note on the table of where I was going because we were not in a good place. And they called your mom and dad. And your mom and dad were so mad that I had come there without the quote permission of my parents, although I graduated from high school.
You were 18.
And I was 18. But I was still living with them. And so I was sent back to my parents' house. And when I arrived, my entire room had been boxed up and placed on the street.
Oh, so you drove up home and you saw all your stuff on the street. You didn't even go in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that is an example of how punishment, and therefore the intention was probably self-defense on their part, but disconnection was intended to cause me to change.
And do you think it's because it would have with them? Do you think they would have been motivated to change? That's what it says to me.
Like the action that you place upon another is the action that would cause you to make the change that you want them to make.
I just wonder about it.
Yeah, I think that's really very insightful. The rest of my life, there's been a variety of instances where my action has caused so much discomfort for my family that the response that I get has been intended disconnection. So when I was with my first girlfriend, I was told I wasn't allowed in my parents' home or my siblings' home or to be with their children. I mean, these are like situations that are like incredibly painful.
And you didn't just take off and leave. You kept coming back and back.
That's right. And you've seen that over and over. And so my point is that like I had to find a different source of depth and connection and belonging in my life because I couldn't count on it to be my family.
To taken away, given, taken away, given, taken.
And that's not reliable. Like that's not a deep sense of safety. And so something in me said I can create that for myself. And I can find ways in which I can be in community that creates belonging, psychological safety. And I can learn how to have that inside of me so deeply that I cannot be shaken. And I think that the reason why connection is the word that like I use a lot, it's one of my favorite words ever, is because it's like a network of information that provides a path for the fullest expression of being human. And that's what I mean by when I said, if you don't have a sense of connection or belonging, you die. Like, what do we do with people to punish them in prison?
Yeah.
Put them in solitary confinement. And that's what we've like tried to control people by taking away connection. And I think that there's the path to like inner sustainability is having your own depth of practice of connection. But I think when trauma occurs, like the trauma of finding my entire life in boxes, or the act of exiling me from my family, it reminds me that that's just part of being in community. Conflict and difference is real. So how do we do that in a way that can give us technique to navigate our differences? And so one of the things that's been super important to me is to come back to my family and show resilience and connection to something that is strong inside me.
You've shown them that.
And model that back. That like we can handle differences and conflict and people not believing the same things by being present with each other, by being caring, and expand ourselves instead of constrict when we encounter differences. And show my nieces and nephews and my siblings that there are other ways of being that are available. And we can all have differences and still be in community and still have connection.
And feel love.
And feel not only love, but feel like I can be whoever I am and be supported. Because love to me is an action. It's not like a feeling.
I feel like love is what we all are. We all have it. And we're the ones shutting it down for opinions or beliefs.
Yeah.
I do believe that we're all love.
And that we are all connected no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So like part of the reason why religion didn't work for me is that I don't see evidence that there is a God that has control. I was taught that there is something outside of me that has the plan, has the control, has the rules.
Like up there playing chess, placing.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not so straightforward as that because it's all nuanced, but I think that is, it's a cultural practice of control, and that limits human beings to express themselves so that you can create society where there is people in charge, because you're providing them with a baseline of minimal connection and safety. Like, what if there was a world in which we all could live from a place where we knew that everything that we already are inside, we don't have to defer to anything outside of that experience because it's already all connected anyways. And so the intuition that I'm getting for who I am and how I want to live has a higher order in it all.
Like if we all lived in that.
Like that is all in service of the greater expression of humankind in the first place. That it wasn't a threat. It was just like, oh my gosh, that's so creative. Celebrate that.
But this isn't how it showed up though when you were young.
I've come to this because I was not able to live the way I was told I had to. And I think for a lot of people, you could get angry and mad and resentful. You could turn to like distraction.
But you knew you were still good.
I did.
Yeah.
And I knew that I knew that I was following my own thread. And that it was leading somewhere, and that I had enough inner strength to follow it without getting distracted by drugs, alcohol, violence, whatever it is that, like, when someone doesn't quite feel like that they know what they're connected to. I don't know, it feels very abstract.
Everyone has a path to it. So what do you do when you don't feel aligned with your connection to yourself?
I look at nature as a way that there is evidence for greater connection than when I'm feeling in this moment. Like, I look at redwood trees all the time.
Those redwood trees.
Just think, wow, like the system underground that is supporting an entire family of trees to resist fire and to drink from the sky. You know, it's amazing. And then I think of aspen trees and mycelium networks of inflammation underground that's coming to living plants in ways that we would never understand conceptually are connected just by looking at them. And I find that incredibly powerful. And so I use, nature as a tool for finding connection to myself and
to a greater sense of purpose.
Beautiful.
We're all connected underneath. Spiritually, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we all are connected underneath. And when you really, really feel that, the only real option is peace and respect. There's no other option, really, because you want life to beget life. I don't know how else to say that.
Love, connection. Love and connection.
What I appreciated most about this conversation was seeing what Rana chose to do with her experiences of disconnection. She could have decided belonging wasn't worth the risk. Instead, she chose to create it for herself first and then for the people around her. Listening to her, I couldn't help thinking about the thread she talked about following. Looking back, I can see that same thread running through our friendship. It was never about living in the same place or talking every week. It was about the way she made room for people to be fully themselves. I think back to that conversation around the fire. She didn't change my beliefs or try to convince me of anything. She simply helped me feel like I belonged. Looking back, I realized that wasn't just something she said. It was the way she'd chosen to live her life. Thank you for your story, and thank you for spending this time with us. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep exploring the words that shape your world.